Just a little crazy. Nobody decided to show up, but it's okay. I'm not worried about them. Let me share my screen for you. Gentlemen, welcome to the finale of Draft Survivor Season 2. We finally made it. I honestly can't believe it's over. So, I mean, you know the drill. We're going to get into your teams, but this time the judges are going to deliver their notes, and then we will reveal what they ranked you. But regardless, you're walking away with money, so at the very least, you're getting lunch out of this. So feel honored to be here nonetheless. So...
wait, can you remind us what the pricing is?
So third place is 30, second place is 50, first place is 70.
Shit.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So my final three. Our first finalist is Raspberry. Commonly known as the community funny man, a content titan, he prides himself on being everybody's friend. Known for being a 2-times league champion with UDL and SBDL, several semifinals and finals runs, and most notably went 5-4 to regional with Sunflora. Also known for using more Pico to make a guy drop out, the Trick Room Wasted meme, and Draft Degenerates. Thank you for your contributions. And that's your final team. Do you have any comments that you'd like to say about your Torn Eye, Meowscarada, Iron Moth, Slowking, etc. team? On my fucking birthday is a good one too, actually.
Hold on.
Okay. I'm holding.
So okay, it's hard. So here's sorry, I'm also driving.
You're fine.
Tell. So obviously the team is pretty Ursaluna centric. Tornadus, Vikavolt, Slowking, lots of like speed control options and offensive options that are built to function with it.
Yep.
I wanted to make sure that obviously the biggest problems that Ursaluna faces are like ghost types and steel types that are not needed. And so I wanted to make sure that I had strong options on both the physical and the special side that could handle those kinds of things. Hence, Meowscarada and Dragapult and Iron Moth.
Sure.
The other thing I wanted to make sure I was looking for was obviously I wanted like fake out and intimidate support. I'm pretty sure I took him on top this draft, and that would be why. I also wanted to make sure that I wasn't relying too heavily on Tornadus to solve my speed tiers. So I wanted to make sure that I had a couple of options that were fast even without Tailwind. And so for all of those purposes, I did feel like Meowscarada and Moth and Dragapult were good options for what I was looking for, despite whether or not they are widely agreed to not to technically be good or bad Ursaluna partners.
Sure. All right. Thank you, sir. And team number 2, we have Piano Guy 27 Ryan, the community's Pokemon professor, providing front offices and power rankings to all. known for being Draft Survivor Season 1 judge, 12 plus semifinals runs, that's the ones I could find, at least, and finals in GLDL, SBDL, and MDL. Best known for loving the Giraffosaur, TR Latios, freezing Radial that one time, the moral alignment chart of all GLDL members, and I'm sure other things that I missed while making a PowerPoint in 20 minutes, but that's what I remembered. And Ryan's final team, do you want to tell us what you're seeing here?
Not the team I wanted to go out on, if I'm being real, but it's good, I think. It's a solid enough team, I think. I went full tilt when Charles grabbed Torkoal, so I said we're going to war. When someone else grabs Torn, you're like, okay, I can't just do fast Tailwind Trick Room and try to win with like good modes, because the Torn team will always beat you. So I went very mode heavy. So the team is a terrain and sun team that's very fast overall, but I got a Porygon 2 in Rhyperior Trick Room mode. I think Rioldu's a nice support piece. I think if you can say one nice thing about the team, I think the value picks are consistently really strong. I think that everything I got is really good in its tier. And I hope that counts for something. God, do I need a type on this team? And that is my thoughts on my own team. Not the one I wanted to end on, but I think it could do it.
Perfect. And then Charles is team number 3. He's our favorite guy that shows up, says a one-liner or a gay joke, disappears for 2 months until it's time to say another one, and God, do we appreciate it. 2 times league champion in NBC, VDL Cruise, flawless regular season recently in GLDL Season 8, literally going 18-0 until playoffs, and then you were robbed of finals, might I say, but I digress. Most known for the Adamant Aerodactyl meme, running PDPL, yes, I said it, being a heartbreaker, and hating draft notoriously.
This is amazing.
Yep.
I haven't seen this picture in years.
Charles, tell us about your team.
Well, you mentioned the GLDL run.
Uh-huh.
And that's directly what this is kind of taken from. Basically, the core of Torkoal, Garchomp, Gallade, and DDF is really friggin' strong. Obviously in GLDL there was Restricteds. Iron Crown kind of fills the role of both. And actually the reason I wanted to go with this team originally was because Raz got Torn first round, Ryan got Rabombi first round, so I was like, well, I could do like a free Kilo in tier 3. Like, they shouldn't get that, I don't think. And so if I paired that with a good ground type, then I have Disquake and all this, and then that's kind of what led to me going back to the flawless team, I guess.
Sure.
A little dark week. Hopefully Sylveon is enough to make them not think about it. I think Torracat's really cool.
That's awesome.
Because I actually had a bit of it was a little awkward not being able to have 2 tier 4s, because I wanted to get Typhlosion, but I feel like Torracat's kind of cool for the tier 5 slot. And
Sure.
it's also the best fire in tier 5, so if they do get me on anything, it's probably going to be the tier 6 picks, specifically Zora and Alomomola.
Yeah.
But the reason I got those is because I'm pretty sure, at least if I'm looking at this correctly, they don't give me a 4th of any weaknesses.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
that's why I did it. Yo, that's it.
Perfect. Well then, I suppose it's time to meet our judges of this season. So, first off, here comes judge number 1. He'll be here any second. I just told him to join. Look, there he is.
Oh, I'm so
Wow.
surprised.
Crazy.
Surprising
wow.
everybody.
Fork found in
There you go.
kitchen. We're at 7.
Judges smart, right, guys? Judges smart.
I've been saying that all season, actually.
True.
Yeah.
I think, wait, you've been the least controversial judge. I think you took my spot from last season.
Guys, Wakeman VGC, owner of GLDL, conqueror of that ass, the most addicted to draft player on this side of Discord, former band kid turned Bachelor of Jazz and representative of Mercantile Bank, 9 times league champion, several of those in GLDL, UGA, SBDL, ADL, Survivor Season 1 finalist. He's best known for owning GLDL, winning GLDL, the Cinderace Manifesto, the Tailwind Manifesto, being attracted to Salazzle. Did I mention he won GLDL?
Oh my god, wait, we get it.
Throwback. W Glaze. W Glaze.
Is this the 3 people you expected?
Honestly, yes. I was told that somebody did what I did last season and like purposefully sniped someone to get them out. Phoenix then was very he was not very nonchalant about that happening to him. And when I saw that it was him, I knew it was Charles. And that's why my comments last round said W snipes Charles. Before I knew that, I wrote like literally, what are we doing? Like, this is one of the worst teams I've ever seen. And I said that, and Toby was like, actually,
I'll have you know, this was intentional.
W snipes.
Yeah.
So are we?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was literally watching his draft. Like, he was drafting no offensive things, so that's all I picked was offensive. He can't have a good team if he doesn't have these. So.
That was a problem with that team, if I remember correctly.
All right. Yeah, you're
so
free
are we
to
doing
give your notes whenever.
my ratings now? Okay, cool.
So
I didn't know if we were doing
not
that
your
with everyone
not your point ratings, but your notes, and then we'll give the
Okay.
points after.
Okay. Am I allowed to know who? Wait, can I guess who drafted what?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Team 1 was Raz.
You would be
The
correct.
Torn team. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was supposed to say, yeah, that was me.
Yep.
So, to be blunt, I have drafted this team, but better, with 18 coaches instead of 3. Like, I really love the Torn, Meow, Ursa. Like, I like those 3 together. And Vikavolt is cool. I just think there's a lot of, like, frail fast mons. Like, Dragapult, Meowscarada, and Iron Moth all feel a little bit like they have different offensive coverage, but roll-wise, it just feels like a lot of samey stuff. And the team, like, it has, like, 2 bulky Pokemon, Ursaluna and Slowking, and that's kind of it. So, like, like, the defensive synergy type matchup wise is really good, but then, like, when you actually look at, like, you have 2 Pokemon that are, like, consistently gonna be able to switch in on, like, resisted hits, because, like, I mean, you can invest in Moth and at least make it specially bulky, but I just worry about this team's ability to, like, yeah, like, if you don't get your offense in a good position, I feel like it's really going to be hard to get back into position, just because it's really frail. So then I think Team 2 was Ryan.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm good. I mean, it's 3 people, so, you know.
Yeah.
Good guesses. This team is kind of nice. I think it might be a little bit heavy on the special attackers, but it's not like so much that it's like a glaring problem. And I think like P2, like, you can snarl P2, but like it's still gonna just recover and like not, and probably outdamage you anyway, so like that I don't care. Your Tailwind options are fantastic. Like, I don't think you need better Tailwind than what you have on this team, because like Walking Wake and Sneasler can just go so fast, like right off rip on turn 1. I think you're okay. Sneasler outspeeds like most teams even when they set Tailwind, so that's really good. I like the bulk. Trick Room mode maybe I would like to see. I mean, it's hard because there's only 3 teams here. So, like, it's hard to say, like, oh, you know, this, and this were drafted that would beat. So it's kind of hard to say that, but I do feel like the Trick Room mode might not hold up in some matchups because your slowest Pokemon is 40. But that's okay. That's not the end of the world. And then Team 3, which I knew immediately, that was my first one. I was like, okay, this is definitely Charles. I don't love the 4 Psychic types. And I don't know if, like, enough value is gotten out of Torkoal here. Like, I think it's going to be a Trick Room sweeper, and that's, like, kind of it. Because there's no, like, Protomons or, like, your Chlorophyllmon. I like Executor here. Like, it's cool that it can do kind of the dual mode thing. Like, if you get Sun Up and then you can, like, bring terrain in the back or vice versa. Like, I like that. But it's like Executor is really slow, so like the speed tier for being your only Chlorophyllmon is a little suspect to me. And the low tiers don't really do it for me. That was another thing. Ryan's team, I thought the low tiers were the best of the 3. Like Drifloon and Riolu and Sliggoo have like real use cases on this team, I think. Coach Raz's are decent too. Elekid's not doing anything, but it's a tier 6, so like I'm not gonna harp on that too much. But it will probably do more than Zorua though. And honestly, low-key Elekid is probably better than Alomomola. Because it has redirection. But yeah, overall, I say this knowing full well that you guys said this about my group of finalists last time and I got mad. So just I realized that, but I think maybe the teams were not as strong as I was expecting overall for them being only 3 people, which I know like you can only take what you can take because the tier list, I mean, not to toot my own horn, the tier list is really good. Like there's not a lot of like super standout value picks. Like, I think, like, the Zapdos pick is really good value. I think Sylveon is really good value. Vikavolt is good value. So you guys did get some good value. And I know, like, you're limited to, like, certain point totals and, like, set tier placements. So I understand, like, it's not like it's just tier lists with 3 people. But, like, I've seen probably, like, a dozen GLDL teams that are better than these drafted with, like, 18 people. As opposed to 3. But they're like fine. Like I'm not trying to say they're like shit because they're not. But like these would be like I think in a regular GLDL season these would end up like B tier and like C tier, I think. But they're like solid. I don't want to come off as I'm hating too much. But I think that's all I've got.
All right. Thank you, Wakeman.
Yes, sir.
And judge number 2 will be in here in just 1 second. I know many of you thought this guy was Flamingo, and I am so happy to tell you that that was not the case. Whenever he decides to join.
He was ready.
Please be Ed.
There he is! There he is!
God. It's goddamn Matt Alcina.
It is Matt Alcina.
No wonder we thought it was Flamingo.
It is Matt
Alcina.
Alcina.
Goddamn.
He
God
is
bless.
he is
Love to see
Generation
that.
8's strongest soldier, Generation 9's most absent player, 4 league champions. All of them are Gen 8, GLDL Season 2, MBC Season 4, MDL Season 2 and 3. MBC's biggest supporter, creator of Matt's Doubles League, the MDL Mythical Offseason. He is known for the ketchup copy pasta, the boneless wings argument, requesting a GLDL Mythical Season more times than the amount of total messages Trunks has ever sent. Matt, how are you?
It's good to see everybody. How you doing? Yeah, so thank you for that wonderful introduction. Are we just jumping right into the notes,
Yep.
the scores? Or... All right.
Deliver notes, and then we'll deliver scores after Judge 3 does their notes.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. So notes first, numbers later.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll start off with Team One. Um, I don't get to know who these are yet, right?
You can guess if you'd like.
Okay. I mean, I haven't even been in the fucking server, so frankly I don't know who's. Um, so we'll save. We'll table that.
Okay.
Team One. All right. So the Tornadoes team. So this one was decent. I mean, none of the teams this week were bad. This one was a little frail for my taste. That's the main thing that took down the defensive synergy a little bit. Some weaknesses on the type chart, less of a big deal. The main, like, one of my main gripes with this team is that, like, I don't know, the fast modes, like the 4 fast pieces here, Tornadoes, Meowscarada, Iron Moth, and the Dragapult. They're good, obviously, but they just seem like they're a little bit too, like, they don't have enough oomph. They need a little bit more bulk or damage output, not necessarily both. It just feels like the sweeping potential is not all the way there, and they're not really bulky enough to, like, not just be taking KOs left and right. You need to kill things to make sure you're not getting hit. So, I could see the sweeping working out here sometimes, and maybe sometimes not. The Trick Room mode seems to be pretty good. I like the synergies there a little bit more than the fast mode, I think. Also, one last piece on synergy. It feels like the attempt was to go for Firewater Grass Core with Meowscarada, Iron Moth, and Slowking, which is really fucking weird. This is something I harp on type cores a lot. They generally need to, like, be in the same mode. I don't like having these 2 fast offensive parts of the core and then one, like, slow bulky one. That's weird to me. Let's see. Speeds. Prankster Tailwind, obviously very strong. I usually like to see some variety in speed control along with that, which there's not a lot of here. You got Icy Wind on the Tornadoes too. That's nice, but it's the same piece, you know. Thunderwave Dragapult is probably your next best thing. I like the speed tiers here a lot. One of the things I was looking for on when it came to speed tiers was floors and ceilings, and you got pretty good ones here, especially if you count these Booster Energy Iron Moth as part of that ceiling. So speed tiers I felt were pretty good. Let's see. Modes I think were mostly covered by the synergy. Utility options seemed decent. I mostly wanted to see, like, just one dedicated fast support set here to kind of free up some of the other offensive pieces, so they're less forced into a supportive role, like a Screens and Thunderwave Dragapult or something like that, for example. Versatility seems decent. It's not overly reliant on, like, one particular kind of mode or field effect or something. There's no real glaring weaknesses. I think overall, I mean, the frailty seems a little bit exploitable, but overall seems like a fairly versatile team. Value, I kind of liked some of the value here, not so much others. I didn't really like the top heaviness of the team. I thought maybe you could have gone a different direction other than the Ursaluna Dragapult, something more well-rounded rather than, like, something slow like Ursaluna or frail like Dragapult, but not the worst. Vikavolt really was the only, like, standout high value pick that I saw here. Everything else seemed like, yeah, it belongs in that tier. So that's everything I got on Team 1. All right, team number 2, our Walking Wake team. This one, better overall bulk than Team 1 for sure. Defensive synergy seems overall pretty well put together. You got some frail mons, but, like, not a big deal. Every team's gonna have, like, at least 1 or 2 of those. Let's see. There's Sorry, I'm looking through my notes here again
You're
real quick. Let's see. Offensive synergy, I think you've got. I mean, you know what you drafted here, like the modes here. I really, really, really love, especially because there's the terrain and weather modes, especially. They don't seem to like rely on their field effects as hard as most rain and terrain and weather modes do. So I like that a lot. For example, like the Sneasler, it doesn't need Psychic Terrain to stay up. It just gets its Unburden boost and it goes. Walking Wake is great because you can't just like set up rain and deal with your opposing Sun Sweeper that way. That's pretty good. Let's see. Speed control. Really love the speed control on this team. Aside from like putting in a Prankster Tailwind Pokemon, you couldn't have asked for a better set of Tailwind users here. You got a couple of Icy Wind users here. Porygon, obviously, as your Trick Room setter, is extremely consistent. Speed control is looking pretty good, I think. Yeah, really the only thing you could have done better is like get Prankster Tailwind, but you got enough Tailwind. And I really like the Drifloon option. I've used Drifloon in draft myself. It's I think it's better than most people would give it credit for, especially when you know how to build it right. Let's see. Speed tiers. Floor and ceiling is not quite as good here. You do have potential for, by base speeds at least, you do have potential for Unburden. You've got potential for Chlorophyll on Leafeon. You got possible photosynthesis speed boosting. You know, so speed tiers look really good with all of that. Modes, as I said on the synergy part, very strong. The Pokemon inside the modes work well together. The modes are not clashing with each other. That's important too. Sun and Psyspam are typically modes I like to see together anyway, since you're spamming your psychic moves for mostly neutral damage, and then hopefully you're getting some kind of fire type damage to hit those opposing steel types that resist your psychic moves. That's pretty good. So you don't have like as solid of a fire type sweeper as like a Torkoal, but you still have your options for that. Let's see. Utility options I actually felt were pretty good, even though most pieces here are pretty focused on doing damage. I felt that the dedicated support pieces like Ribombee, Riolu, Drifloon, they're doing their jobs really well. Versatility, as I said, you don't rely on your field effects as much as most terrain and weather modes do, so that increases your versatility a lot. That was something that didn't kill versatility scores throughout the season, but definitely reduced them some if you were too overly reliant on a mode like that. This team is not like that a lot. Seems very flexible overall. I also wanted to mention, I see kind of a hidden rain mode here with like manual rain setup and like Walking Wake and Zapdos with like Hurricane Thunder. That looks really cool. So again, modes on modes. Let's see. Value. I don't think anything was overpaid for here. Zapdos, Ribombee, and Drifloon all seemed like they were at least great value for their tier, if not potentially worth bumping up a tier. So that's everything I got on Team 2. And now we'll move into the last one, Torkoal team. So the first thing I noticed here was 4 fucking psychic types. That's a lot, man. So defensive synergy, that's the compounding psychic types is gonna hurt that. You got a lot of Ghost Dark weaknesses, which you can tear out of those, but like you're only gonna tear out 1 Pokemon per battle. And if you've got a lot of Pokemon of the same type, it probably means that your Terra types, at least on those slots, are going to become somewhat more predictable over the course of a season. So opponents are, even with Terras, they're not going to have that hard of a time predicting what you want to do with those slots if they're good players. Um, so you got some compounding ghost and dark weaknesses because of that. Maybe one too many ground weaknesses as well. Um, but the team's all overall not too frail. Seems like you'd be able to maneuver fairly well. The natural bulk seems to skew special, so I like the presence of intimidate here. That's good. Offensive synergy. Um, say, funny enough, same combos as Team Two, Sun plus Psy Spam. I think that the potency of some of those combos in some situations is going to be higher with this team, but I think the flexibility is better with Team Two. Just because these modes tend to suffer more from the standard problems with a field effect mode. You delete the field effect, suddenly you neuter a lot of what that mode is really trying to do. Not as big of a problem with Team 2. Let's see. Speed control. I had a problem with this here. Aside from Trick Room, your speed control is almost entirely kilowattrel. You've got like Icy Wind, Aloma Mola. I don't know how much faith I have in that. You can bring that once or twice. I don't know how often Aloma Mola is actually going to come. But it's pretty much all kilowattrel, just for mostly Tailwind and maybe Electro Web or Thunder Wave as a backup if you need to keep on the speed control, like if your opponent has Tailwind or something. So kilowattrel's good, but it's not enough. The speed control in this team seems very questionable. This is the kind of drafting I would expect somebody to do if Kilowattrel were a prankster Tailwind Pokemon. Like, thinking that your prankster Tailwind is so strong it's going to be enough to do all the work on its own. But Kilowattrel doesn't even have prankster. Not great. Speed tiers. Speed tiers looked actually very similar to Team 2's, just with the addition of Torkoal, which helps your speed floor a lot. Torkoal almost kind of feels like cheating when it comes to that, so a good pick there. And then of course, Unburden is not here the way that is on Team 2, so that kind of balanced it out. I thought the speed tiers were about the same between those two teams. Modes, I mostly covered on the synergy part. Let's see. Utility options. This is mostly a damage dealing team, especially with all these expanding force spammers and sun Pokemon. You got little bits of disruption, like some fake out. You got a little bit of status. Follow me is a huge leg up that you have on your utility options here, something that the other teams don't have. So that's certainly an advantage there. Versatility, as I said, is kind of hurt by the over reliance on field effects and the compounding psychic types. Those kind of killed that score for me. Opposing Trick Room modes that don't seem to care too much about Torkoal also seem like a big problem. Torkoal's nice, having that 20 base speed for opposing Trick Room modes is great, but that only matters if Torkoal can actually do something to those other slow but not quite as slow Pokemon in Trick Room. If you're facing down like a Rhyperior that resists Rock, or a Porygon 2 that's, the fattest Pokemon in the West, I don't know how well Torkoal's going to do here. So opposing Trick Room modes kind of has that effect. So the modes here, I think they're strong, but I don't feel they're going to work consistently throughout an entire draft season filled with skilled players. Right? It'll work sometimes, but consistency is definitely my big gripe here. And then value seemed pretty average. I don't see any like real blunders or problems or any like big high value picks that are tier 2 low or anything like that. So that's everything I've got. Any questions?
Yeah, questions. Comments.
How does it feel to have 3 MDL coaches in your finals, Matt?
Oh, is that what's good? I have I don't even know who the fuck is. I don't know who
So-
these are. Who's here?
Coach 1 is Raz, Coach 2 is Ryan, and then Coach 3 is Charles.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean that makes sense to me.
And they were also the judges last season.
They were,
which
in
means
fact.
Toby knows how to pick them.
Apparently.
Well done, everybody.
All right. Then let me message judge number 3.
I think if we can bring back Matt, we can bring back Trunks for next season.
You know what? Sure.
Who was the
For
first
sure.
judge?
Me.
It was Wakeman. Surprise,
Oh,
surprise.
okay. Who would've
The way
guessed?
I knew, like, people were drafting me teams, and I was like, this is too obvious. Like, I mean, like, okay, I know about Gentle's like Salazzle Jugulus Mammo team. That one, I was like, they know. And then I saw my GLDL season 5 core of Hand Spectre and like 6 times. All right. Anyway.
Look, it's judge number 3. It's Mason, everybody. It's Mason.
Whoa.
It's judge number 3. He's my tall, skinny, basketball-obsessed, acapella-pilled, autistic twin, knowledgeable in cryptids and how to rhythm with the tism. 3 times league champion, GLDL Season 1 and 4, and ADL Season 1, and Draft Survivors Season 1 champion. Known for being ADL's co-owner, the most VGC-pilled TCG player alive, being really, really bad at Photoshop, and also really bad at cooking the most basic meals. Mason!
Contact info.
I feel like I
Contact
can't
info.
tell if I'm supposed to be like insulted by that or say thank you. So
You should feel honored.
both, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm honored then. Great. Okay, do I do my notes now? I don't know. I
Yeah.
wasn't here for the first.
So, notes
Okay,
first,
cool.
and then we'll deliver point values right after this.
Okay. I'm gonna start with this. Overall, these teams should have been stronger, low key, but that's not important for the actual rankings, so I'm not gonna talk about that much. Anyway, okay. Let me pull up my. Okay, team 1. So I thought defensively, like, you have coverage, like you have resists, but like when your resist is Meowscarada, that dies anyway, so it doesn't count. Like resisting stuff doesn't matter when you can't switch stuff in because it dies. Offensively, like they're like all these mons do offense, but like, dude, 3 of them do the same thing. Like Iron Moth, Meowscarada, and Dragapult are like conceptually the same Pokemon. Like, not actually, but like they fulfill the same purpose, which I just don't like on this team. They're also really frail, coincidentally. Kind of like it's almost like that impacted the defense. Who knows? Speed control is good. Tornadus and what was it? Slowking? Or I mean, that's just good speed control. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I really liked the Torn, Slowking, Pink, Vikavolt, Ursa mode. Like, the Trick Room part of this team is, like, cool. I like the support. I just, like, the rest of it just wasn't filled out well, in my opinion. Like, the just type overlap. I don't think those mons get a lot of use out of Torn because they're all so fucking fast anyway. It's like, do you really need your Meowscarada to go faster? I don't know. The speed tiers are solid. I think one thing I wanted to note is I think you get diminishing returns from having that many fast mons. Like, the more having fast mons is great and all, but like at a certain point you just aren't gonna be able to use all of them at the same time. I don't know. The low tiers I also thought were really bad on this one in particular. Alecki, Quagsire, Quillfish, like, come on, like, or Elekid, sorry, not Alecki, Jesus. I thought those were pretty bad. Magneton makes no sense when you have Vikavolt. But like, yeah, like I said, the core that isn't the fast mons is really cool. I liked Dragapult. I like if you would have had like one of Dragapult, Meowscarada, Iron Moth, and filled out those other slots with something more balanced that had like bulk or did something different, I think I would have liked it a lot more. But I thought it was like fine. Coach 2. Let's see. I thought the defensive core was solid. It wasn't like crazy. It's not game breaking. Nothing there is like insane, but it was, you know, it's good enough. Covers weaknesses. It was fine. I didn't have an issue with it. Offensively, like the modes feel pretty good as like self-contained units. Like Sneasler and Dee is really solid. The Trick Room mode is pretty. It's like fine. I mean, like Rhyperior isn't anything to write home about, but it does the job. The Sun mode is nice and contained. I thought you got good value out of the low tiers. Drifloon is like an actual mon on this team. Fligu, you kind of have to respect and prep a little bit at least because it can win games. And then like Riolu does things, which is nice. Speed control is fine, not great, but I like that like this team doesn't feel like it needs Tailwind, but it definitely like has the option. So I thought it was fine. If you were trying to go for a Disquake mode, I don't like it, but like it's there, and so that I guess is something. Yeah, I think my biggest issue with this team is I don't think it felt super like overall synergistic. I liked the modes as like self-contained units. I thought like you know Sneasler and Dee is cool, Walking Wake Leafeon, Ninetales is cool, but I just didn't really see like the vision that's connecting it all. If you get what I mean. But I think that the team is good enough in general that that isn't like a super huge issue here. Like each mode actually like contributes and can be used on its own, and they're all good, and so you can kind of just pick and choose. And I think it works. Yeah, I think that was all my notes for that team. Okay. Team 3. Okay, considering this team has 4 psychic types, I was like pretty impressed with the defensive core. However, there's 4 psychic types, and that like in itself kind of makes your defense suspect like inherently. There's a lot of like offensively, this team has a ton of cool ideas. The like multi-faceted spam mode, and then you have Gallade, and like that's cool. The Disquake mode is cool. Having Torkoal in Trick Room is cool. I just don't like. I think this team is one of those teams that like the idea is cool, and the idea was executed really well. My question is just how good was the idea? This team loses really hard to Snarl, and also struggles against Wide Guard. You have like 2 physical attackers, and yeah, like Kilowattrel doesn't save you from Snarl. That if that thing's at +1, it's still not really doing that much. Speed control is fine. I wish like Executor wasn't your only Trick Room setter outside of a DDF. But, you know, I guess Gallade can set it. So it's like fine. You have Trick Room setters. They're not great, but Kilo's fine. Low tier value is really bad. Alola Mola is a type Gormon that like it's not real, and Zorua is also not real. Shroodle, I guess, like can do things, but like, are we leading in DDF Shroodle because that feels like a throw? Overall value is solid. Yeah, like I said, this one felt like there's an idea here, and the idea was executed as visioned. It's just a question of how good the vision actually was. And that's I think that's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Mason. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, 2 of these people I know you expected. Matt, I don't think really anybody guessed. In fact, I think it's really, really funny because I think in the first 2 rounds, somebody, I think it was Ryan, said, I don't think the judges know how NBC works. And I was like, okay.
Genuinely, Matt, I think some of the NBC ratings, I stand by that, some of the NBC ratings were not good. I think.
We'll fight about that later. I'll go back and
honestly, I would love to catch up, and there's no other way I want to catch up with Matt than arguing about that. That'll bring me back to the old days.
All right. Well, then let's go right ahead and reveal our rankings. Wakeman, you can go ahead and deliver the total points you gave for each one, what their point average was.
All right, so yeah, as you can see there, I thought, again, they were not that far apart from each other. Like, the total gap here is like less than 1.5. So it really wasn't a huge thing. And I mean, if, you know, I was rating on the scale of like 5 is like, this is adequate. Like, it's not incredible, but it's like fine. and everybody was higher than that. I think the number of teams overall this entire season I rated below a 5 were like probably only 3 or 4. I think our community is really good at drafting. But anyway, yeah, Raz 6.53, Charles at a 7.63. Then narrowly beating out Charles, I had Ryan as the best team with an 8 even.
Perfect. And Matt.
All right, so let's see. Who was who again? Remind me.
Raz is team 1, Ryan's 2, Charles is 3.
Good. Okay. So for me, Raz and Charles actually tied at a 6.75, and Ryan ended at a 7.875.
Which Google Sheets rounded it up to 7.88, but you get the gist.
Okay. Sure. Yes.
Yeah. All right, and Mason.
I had Raz with a 6.13, then a little gap, and I had Charles at 6.83, and then I had Ryan at a 7.38.
Which does mean, ladies and gentlemen, that third place is Raz, second place is Charles, and first place is Ryan, getting 30, 50, 70 respectively. Congratulations, Ryan and Charles and Raz. You all made it. You all made it. Like Wakeman said earlier, my 3 judges from last season were my top 3. I don't even know how, but all I know is I have an eye for talent. So
that is pretty uncanny. When I saw you guys lining up in the call, I was like, wait a minute, there's no way, right?
All right. Well, I will go ahead and send that prizing out right after this. So if I don't have your Venmo, Cash App, whatever, send it to me. I think I have Raz's. I don't know if I have the other 2's. And
I don't think you have mine.
yeah, just DM it to me. I'll send it to you here shortly. And then, yeah, he just left. He saw he was third and left. He was driving a bus, so.
Oh yeah, that's pretty fair.
All right, but
Bus is stupid.
Yeah, that's final standings. Last thing I want to make sure everybody's aware of is the next event that we are hosting for an off-season is going to be Nuzlocke Battle Royale. It will be in the last to leave style, so you are Nuzlocking until you lose the Nuzlocke or are eliminated via challenge. I'm looking to fill 16 slots. Will be, like it was last time, prize of a free regional trip, registration, hotel fees. I don't cover travel because flights are expensive, so if you have to fly, that's you. And we're looking to start July 18th because that'll be after NAIC, so I will have paid Kool-Aid's prize out because he selected NAIC. And we're hoping to send invitations out April 2026. So more on that pretty soon, but I'm excited about this one. It was supposed to be Last to Leave Lumios with Legends Arceus and X and Y, but I'm going to be completely honest. Legends Arceus does not have enough content for a Last to Leave competition. So this is kind of what we have to do. But it should be fun.
Sweet.
All right. And that's it on the YouTube side of things. Thank you, everybody. It was a great season. Thank you to my judges. Thank you to my finalists. It all went